Hey man, what's up? What's this
It
you
was
got?
so
What's this PDF file, bro? Shall I open it?
Oh yeah, just a weekly recap not recap, weekly upcoming weekly analysis what I'm looking at.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look. Where you
For
from,
sure
bro?
if you want. I'm from Cali,
All right.
California.
Yeah, for some reason, for some reason, I thought you was here in the UK, but then now hearing your accent, you're definitely not from
Yeah.
here.
Nah, definitely not. Never been there, bro.
Well, I like that, bro. I like the work that you've done.
Yeah, I don't know why it converts into PDF for some reason. I use OneNote. There's an app called OneNote.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but every time I send it, it converts into a PDF. So I don't know if you could like.
Mm, okay, so you'll be looking for a bite. Oh, what happened? Oh, there you go. Yeah, you'll be looking for some sort of bite here to that cell area.
Right.
And then yeah, I guess the flip thing here, right? So look for that cell down to that buy, and then just let the
Yeah,
winners win, whichever.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, AJ. I've got something similar. I guess we can go over that.
Right.
CJ, yeah. That this was oh yeah, I was looking. So this must have been like after NFP. So I was actually looking for a cell, and then again, and we can backtest that because for me when I
Yeah,
was looking at
I was looking at I was looking at some there too last week.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Because obviously this being that SC that redistro that causes the break, and then when we were just looking
Exactly.
at the order flow, this was just bearish, and as you got yourself here, higher time frame is bearish, lower time frame is bearish, and also
Right.
if we look at where we tapped into it, we tapped into 80% of that higher time frame mitigation candle over there. So yeah, so this is that, but it's cool because I've got another point of interest I'm looking at over here.
Right.
Um. So yeah, if I don't get into any of these, which I don't want to anyway now because this looks like a clean trend line. So I do
Yeah.
want it to kind of collapse and then this could be the accumulation and then we get into the distribution here for that
Right.
redistribution.
Yep.
But
Perfect.
yeah, good shout there, similar thinking. Catch F is actually on my radar for next week as well. So in the demand zone look to sell, active destroy before drives. Yeah, so yeah, so this didn't come it came into the point of interest as we can see here as well. But I mean, again,
Right.
if it came a little bit higher up, would have been nice. Now I'm not uh what's the word? I'm not because this could be a like an intraday distro. You know, we could have one drive, two drive, and then we could come up here into that
Right.
80 and then distribute get a micro distribution and then come down. This for me is still on the table. Um And if that so that could be my point of play action one. If it claps there, then I do have higher prices that I'll be just patiently waiting for as well.
I see.
Yeah, I have
The reason
something.
I
Yeah,
was
go on.
looking into Cash Chef in the back, the previous one, Cash Chef.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because yeah, it is in the area, but it gave a distro like in the clean. I know it's kind of really small for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it like gave a clean
definitely
distro.
this is on my primary release. So I'll be
Right.
watching it until shows are no allowed. So yeah. Okay, cool. That's cool, bro. That's awesome, man. I like what you do with it. Um. So yeah, basically what I like to do is I like to do some sort of end of week back test just to see what the price action has given us. Now I am a firm believer and I've been a firm believer ever since I started to follow Mike that the market will give us a 1 to 10 at least in the majors.
Right.
And you know I don't think I've failed to find a single week that
Right. It had
I haven't found a 1 to 10 at least in the majors. So last week I didn't play anything. I was pretty much sitting on my hand. And this is pretty much I was having a chat with Dio about, our daily conversation, and something that we found common was having a skin in the game. And then for me, it was just a reminder because at the start of this year, maybe sorry, towards the end of last year, I had a UK fund manager telling me we should I personally should have some skin in the game. So my goal going into this year is to not demo trade, to actually have my live account as well as some challenges. And so far,
Right.
I've been super patient with trading, just taking quality trades. Whereas before, I would be a little bit disciplined, but I also knew that I didn't have that skin in the game basically, and then now I
I,
knew it was there more. So I would
I
be,
feel
I would be,
definitely.
I would
You know what?
be,
I'm literally
yeah,
trying to do the same thing. So like getting off the demo because I feel like I'm really too used to because I've been learning this for like a year now,
yeah.
year and a half. But I feel like I'm really used to a demo compared to when you got like hop in with the real money. So I'm doing the same exact thing. It's funny that you said that.
Go for it, bro. Honestly, it's the best thing that I've done. And but one thing I would say is, so when you do, so how I'm doing is I'm doing a challenge and then my live.
Right.
And then it's the same. So for me, I'm up 0.75, sorry, 0.37% for Jan. And then how I'm doing is basically the same trade I'm taking for my challenge is the same trade I'm taking for my live.
Right.
And if I've passed my challenge, the only thing I'm looking at is I grew my account. Now, if I don't pass my challenge and then I flopped, it goes back to what Mike says, the amount that you're not gonna need, basically
Exactly.
invest what you can lose. So don't throw something in there that you can't afford to lose, basically. Number one. Number two, don't have the expectation that again, for me, when he told me that, it was purely for the fact of have some sort of connection to the market, have the skin in the game, right? And it
Right.
wasn't to grow the account, it wasn't to lose the account, it wasn't to make money on it, it wasn't to to give money to the market, for example. It was
Keep
just
it,
for you to
keep it,
work
you
on
know,
that emotion side of things.
right. Right. I agree. I agree with you, man.
So, and then that's the same thing I would say to you, bro. Work on that, and then see how it goes. And then obviously then then what he also, because this is what he does. He said he's got a journal. He's got like 3 4 journals just for the same
Right.
thing. So do the same thing, bro. Like have multiple journals, maybe one for emotions, one for technicals, or whatever the case is. And then and yeah, do the same, because that's how you're really making money off your money, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Definitely.
Because
And that's
then if you do lose it all, but guess what it's giving you? The experience. And then the experience is something that no money can buy, basically.
I agree,
So
man. I agree,
yeah,
man.
bro, go for it.
Yeah.
um cool. So then what I've got is let's come off that. I've got so we looked at AU last week, we looked at
Right.
ACAD last week. We look at a nice trade on Russell last week or the week before. So that's not there. NZD Chef is something that we can talk about. We looked at, I'm not sure if I think I dropped it. No, so yeah, we looked at something like that, bro. But just to do a quick recap, this was a very clean play, man.
That one, the news that you played, the back text you dropped.
I'm not sure. It might have been on that, bro. It might have been on that. No, wait, no, no, no. That was XPT. So yeah, that's different. This is a UK stock. But it's the
Right.
same process, bro. So this is our intraday, right? Because this is where it breaks the intraday. This is our reaccumulation, very clean. We can see that, right? 2, 3. There's the UTAD. There's the break. There's the accumulation, and there's the jump across the creek that goes and make a new high. So there's our slingshot. There's our mitigation candle. Essentially we do that to that. There's our 50. There's our 80
Right.
price. So back in March, I believe this was, nope, February. Back in
Right.
February, was actually looking at this area here. And yeah, the entry did come in March. And then what we was looking at was pretty much because price came into a slingshot. This was a loss unmitigated point of interest. Price came into
Right.
there, did give us a type 4 with a booth, tried to get this entry, reduce risk and break even, would have got hit. Because essentially the slingshot got turned into a redistribution, this turned into a redistribution, and then price comes into here. And this was just super clean. Inside the 80, we get, if it allows me now, yeah. So we get this New York price action in there. Now I don't know if I can go further. Can Yep. So
Yeah.
it was pretty much a type 4 in this as well.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much a type 4, and then we get that break. But what I liked about it was this was so my gray box is Thursday. This blue price action is New York price action. So it's a New York price action on a Thursday. We get the booth, we come back straight away on a Thursday, and then off we go to the races.
Clean. That's clean, brother.
Yeah, very clean, man. And it was literally well, I mean, no reason not to take this.
Right.
So that was that. Can remove that from here. And then what we did look at, just a quick recap, was this. No, it wasn't this. It was deliver. Let me put it back on here. It was this clean type one that has taken ages and ages to accumulate. And then here we had inside that test, we had a micro. Um, the micro was as a test, but then inside the accumulation, we had another type one of that accumulations test
Right.
as a
Right.
as an accumulation, and then that was a great back test in terms of how long it took to accumulate.
Right.
We could see them working orders and stuff, so it was very clean.
That is clean. That is like textbook.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I dropped this. I think I had it marked up. Yeah, I had it marked up, and I dropped this for the guys to literally print it and then put it on the what's it called, fridge. And then we could see even like, because sometimes we don't get this
Yeah.
LPSY entry as a
Yeah.
reaccumulation.
Right.
Sometimes we just get like a little pullback and then it goes. But
It cut off. Right.
this was a very clean, like what you said, like what we would have learned on a textbook, how we
Right.
get the distribution, and then that just comes into accumulation, and then we get that. So this was good. Now, just gonna see what happens when we make that high. Hey Adam, man, how you doing? So we looked at that. And then we looked at that. Cool. So for today, I've pretty much just got this. Um, I've got NZD CAD. Let me start off with NZD CAD because I thought that was super clean in terms of its price action, and timing and everything as well included. So let's just clear. Oops, no. Let me just clear everything. Okay, let's start on right. So we don't need to go far to know where we are with NZD CAD. I mean, we can just see it and then we know. There's a major break. This is also a major break.
Right.
We can see the well drawn out distro here. Whoops. And then same thing here, but I'm gonna follow the market cycle, because this for me would be that redistribution. Okay, I mean, we know there's a distro in there, we know there's a redistro in there, but I'm
Right.
just following the market cycle on an intraday time frame right now. So for me, this is what's holding intraday, and this is what's holding lower time frame. Okay, so essentially, sells are the play where what we got to play is sells, and what we can hedge or buys. Okay, short-term buys to our sell position, and then sell as a long run as well. Um, there we go. Okay, cool. So now when we do look at this price action, so now that I've got my structure leg, the second thing I'm going to look at is my point of interest. Where will I be buying from? Where will I be selling from? So as I said, I already know inside here we've got a distro, very
Right.
clean one. We don't even need to go anywhere else to look at it. So I definitely know this is my extreme. So this is where I'll be selling from. Okay, and then we already also know that this is a redistribution that causes the break. So this is my redistro. And then I'm just gonna do that to that just to get like a refine in between that 50 and that 80 is my slingshot.
Uh-huh.
And again, that's my lower time frame. And essentially same thing here. So look for distro. And then what I'll do is once we get a bullish order flow coming in, okay, then we know we've got accumulation. We've got some buyers coming into that. It could be profit taking, it could be whatnot, but then that would be my hedge opportunity for me to get into as a reduced risk to work my way into this. Because again, we're on a 3 day. We've got enough real estate from here to here, at least a 10 to 1. So you have your opportunities, and also you have your risk to reward to work with you to go to the sell area.
Right.
And also, I'm an extreme player, so I believe that the SCs would be the area where we do get profit taking, but then it just quickly turns into a reaccumulation or redistribution to get us into our extreme. Because essentially, as I said, this is what's holding the entire leg. So then if I'm already in a hedge from here, and then I do get into a sell from here, that would be reduced risk. That would also, or at least be break even. Then if this does get clapped, because this point of interest, this slingshot point of interest is most likely to get clapped than this MC basically, because again, this is just order flow. So if I'm in a sell, if I can work myself in a buy from here and then work my way up to get my first sell here, and if this does get clapped, I don't care because I'll be in from here, and then I can work myself a sell into here as well. That's like the best. That's like my plan of action going into it. So now, as I said, we can actually drop down, and then let's see if we can get some sort of bullish momentum coming in where it would be sufficient for me to say, okay, cool, we can work into a hedge now. Let's try to see if we can speed it up. Okay, so now we can actually see that, right? That's coming in. So let it do its thing. Again, I would like to look for a clean one. It doesn't have to be. I don't need it to be this one. I don't need it to be this one. I would need to see. So I would at least like to see some sort of shakeout, where we do get these early buyers out of the way, ideally into this, right? Something like that, at least 50%. That's something that I would love to play. So whether it presents itself, I'm not sure, but let's see. And again, this is where I'll be selling from. Okay, so price into my point of interest, alert would go off to say look for price action. And then let's look. So, so at the moment, I don't really see any weakness. I do see some sort of distribution in here, but again, I do need some sort of U-type confirm or as I said, some sort of bearishness coming in. Nothing at the moment. I'm being patient. So I like that. I like that push. This is a Tuesday New York price action. Now the only thing I'm missing is again something like that where I could play this as the re-entry. So we get that. Hold on, too far. Right, there we go. Okay, so that's the break that I would have needed. I'm just doing from that low. to that high. This is where the 80 is and this is where the 50 is. So see if you can just put that there now. Let's see if this is 26 pips, and obviously the 50 to the 80 is obviously going to be more. So what we could look for is we could look for a distribution inside here. Distribution inside here, right? And I'm not too fussed because let's not forget where we are as well. So now that we have found our point of interest, let's look at where we are in terms of timing wise. So we're on a good point of interest. We do have a break, but let's like as I said, right? So this is the Thursday price action that has broken that. We do need that now. I don't expect price to come back straight away. So if this is going to require me to wait for Tuesday, Wednesday, I would gladly wait. Right, I have got my confirmation, but I now need to wait for the market to be on the right side in terms of time and volume. So we've got a break. Now we just have to wait. So this will set another alert, say look for distribution, ideally on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I can get that Thursday volume to come down with me as well. So happily waiting for some sort of pullback where we are. So we're Friday, 6 o'clock. Then we're coming up. So now this is 7 o'clock my time on a 50 at a 50. Not really looking to do anything. My trading window is not there. Um, please let me. Okay, yes, perfect. Let's see what happens in here. So just a quick note on this as well, guys. Like, let me know your emotions, right? Let's make this back test a little bit more real in terms of let me know how you would feel. You would have waited.
Yeah, I
So
would definitely
especially,
wait. Yeah, I would definitely wait to take the Asian high and come back on like what you said in 2 days,
yeah,
Thursday and close to Thursday.
yeah,
Yeah, what I would do at right there is wait for the market to take the Asian high and look for a distro, small distro to enter.
sure. So now let me ask you this, right? Look, the break has happened 30th of June, well, somewhere around here, right? This has now taken you a full on 180 days rounded up to come back just to your slingshot. So and then so 180 days. Then since the lowest form of order flow break, it has taken you another 1.5 day. Yeah, one day and 12 hours, right? And then only for the entry to be right slapped on a Friday, worst day for you to enter at least. Oops, worst day for you to enter, but then even that is on an afternoon. So like, how would that kind of make you feel?
And at that point, yeah, it is a long waiting time, but
That is a long waiting time.
yeah, I don't know, let her do her thing. Just put alert on and just let her do a
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But however, it did make a new low right there. Would you measure that play out?
Hold on. So which say that again, bro?
Since it made a new low right there,
It's this low or this low?
right here, this leg made a new low. Would you measure
Um,
this?
I
And
would not necessarily because ideally I would want this to kind of get clapped.
oh, I see. It's making a
Yeah,
trend line. Okay,
yeah, yeah. So ideally, because for me, look, if you look at this is Asia, this is Asia. Well, it's not really Asia, but it's like towards the end of New York.
but
So I'm not really too fussed of getting into this, right? Um, now if we do come back into that, because at this point, this is all continuation. This is all continuation. So we can get a UTAD, right? We can get a shakeout that does come and respect that 80 and then go down. Is that not valid?
I agree. Yep.
Yep. So that's
You,
what I'll
so
be waiting on.
basically, this is your leg.
This is still my leg, and
Oh,
even if we do that, this would still be my entire leg. Reason being is because what happens when that gets clapped like that?
So
That
we
for
just
me
go.
would, yeah, that for me would be the reaccumulation phase, not this. Not if we do that, we respect that 80 and then we come back down. That would not confirm the reaccumulation. What needs to confirm for the reaccumulation is this. So therefore, this is still what's maintaining my leg, not this little puny things.
Gotcha.
Cool. So so yeah, so that's what I'll be waiting on. And again, now the only other thing is I'm now looking for volume. Again, look, we're Thursday, coming into Thursday. So let's see what that brings for us. So this would be um Asia, right? Um, so yeah, just gotta wait and see what that's gonna do. Thursday did a whole lot of nothing. Okay, now let's just reevaluate. Let's see where we are. Okay, so we have respected that what's it called? We have respected that slingshot, right? And we have distributed in here. Actually, Adam said something I forgot to check. So personally, for me, I would need a minus sign of weakness for that distro to even look at it. So let's go back into that, bro. I would need him or
Yeah, I can explain a little bit.
yeah, go on.
So this is for me the type 2 distro because we have 1, 2, and 3 drives.
Yeah.
And for me, if I have non-type 1 distro, I would need a major sign of weakness for me to even look at like bearishness.
Yeah, okay. So I also do agree, and that for me would just make it a stronger distribution. The way that I was also looking at would be, yeah, this is one drive, two drive, and then this is my third drive. And then yes, this is something that would need to get taken, because when I do look at this, this is Thursday. This is New York price action. So this for me is it would be a key area. Um, Also saying that, bro, let's look at order flow coming into this. What's your latest form of order flow that you do need to break?
I mean,
Is
yeah,
it is it
order
this
flow wise,
or is
it
it
is
this?
just, yeah, it is the first one.
This is the first one, okay? So so let me ask you this then. You have got a so forget distribution, right? You got price inside your price of action, okay? You have got a break of order flow, right? And you have got the break of order flow is done in a way where you have got the shakeout. You can see the shakeout because you can see this in New York,
Yeah, I
correct?
agree.
So when you do get the break, do you not take something, even if it's reduced risk?
If it type 2, I wouldn't. I
Even
would
if it's
need,
reduced risk?
yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't.
Okay, that's cool.
I would need the registrar in that point.
Okay, so you would just play the continuation. I see
Yeah.
that. That's okay, bro. That's cool. So again, everyone's got work on the edge. For me, I know I would throw a little something once we get that break. I know I would throw a little something coming into that 50, coming into that 80. I would personally may have through so if this was a little bit earlier on in given that even if this was Friday, but this was during London, and I would have probably threw a little risk into here, going into that 80, and then 80 to that. And then I would have just gone to reduce risk, or I would have trade managed it super quick, given that it would be a Friday. But I know this is a price of action that I would throw a little bit of risk at, even if it's reduced risk, i.e. 0.10 percent of my account. But anyways, moving forward, let's see what this does now. So at the moment, I'm not a continuation player. I know that this all of these continuation play. This is not for me. I would like to see a shakeout and then wait for that break and then we play that. I'm not trying to be one of these sellers in here playing order flow of order flow. I need to see something. So that's what I'll be waiting for. Um, and it seems like we're getting something. So we're getting some sort of pullback. Now, just need to see whether we get something or we have to play the redistro of it. Okay, at this price at this time as well, let's look at where we are. We have finished the year, so this is the start of 2023, and we are now in January. Now, as I said, this is a break that a lot of people may have played. For me, this is not enough. I do need it to be higher up into here. Okay, because when I look at this, I don't see them doing anything. And then what would help me at that point in real life is just to look at it on a higher time frame. This is still nothing, and then you can always just do this, right? You can always just say, well, on a higher time frame, what they could be doing something, so I need to wait, I need to be patient, rather than trying to play that, trying to play this, trying to play this. So that's how I get by. I just need to zoom out. So now we're just waiting. So we spent 180 days since the break, and then price is slowly walking itself up. It has come to a point of interest that I do like, so let's revisit. So it seems like it has come into this price action here. So this is a price action here, and then at this point, what I like to do is I just like to throw a fib from this low to that high, just to see if we got any confluence. Ideally, I would have liked that 88.8 to line up with my 80, but it didn't. If it did, I would have thrown some sort of risk, but there's no confluence in there that I would like to look at. So now we're coming into this. I am going to look at this on a lower time frame, especially given that this is a Thursday going into Wednesday, going into Thursday, and then we are in between that 50 and that 80, just to see how price reacts. Not getting a whole, I'm not getting anything. Just gonna let it do its thing. Let me zoom out. Right. Nope, nothing. Okay. So now, give me a sec. Yeah. So now that we've got this break, right? So we can see price has come into this, but didn't get a distribution in here. We did get a little something in here. We can see that distribution in here, but I wouldn't have looked at it because the way that price was coming, I was actually thinking price might have gone up. But now we do get this clean distribution in here, and then price does break. So when price does come back into here, I would be looking for a sell to go down with it. That's my point of interest. That's my plan of attack one. If price doesn't come back, just kind of make a way down here. After this break here, then I would look at this, because this would be my slingshot, and then this would be my mitigation candle of my order flow leg. Okay. That's kind of like my two plan of attack with it. So let's see which one it presents. Okay, so price is coming into this. Given that we have broken there, we can just do that to that. So I'll be looking around something between that 80, and then just see what we get. So let's go down. So it comes up into Thursday, Asia. We don't actually take it. So my alert would have wouldn't have gone off, and we do break. So I'm not gonna try chase it. I will need two things. I will need that Asia high to get clapped or this low to get clapped before I could take something. And that's pretty much it. So let's see what it does. Nope. No. So there was this. Now when I looked at it, I saw. Let me come off. So this inside this 50 here was this. 2 minutes. Let me hold on. Let me clean this up for me. So essentially, what it was the play was this. Nothing that I would have taken. So we know we've got that to this, and then price breaks here, right? And we know we've got our distribution here, which is now holding that whole leg, or at least in terms of order flow wise, in terms at least from that to that. And then we know we've got our distribution here, and then price comes into it. Okay. And then we know we've got a micro distribution here. And then this was the play. So this was the redistro. But again, this is just for training our eyes only. It's not. I don't think I would have taken it simply because this was news, right? But when we do look at this, now as I said, ideally I would have liked this New York to have taken this, because if it did, then this is something that I would actually maybe play if this was an NFP, but it was. Because the way that it was coming up in here and the price action was clean. Let's actually look at that. Let's look at the price action in here. Go down to 1 minute and then you will be able to see it. So yeah, there's the distro there. There's our trading range. Got 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive. There's our UTAD during New York. There's the break that we need right here. And when price comes, and I think unfortunately it doesn't come into that 50%. Just shy. Oh no, it does. It doesn't come into that 80. So on a normal day, if it was non-NFP, then you would have maybe offset it like that. To that, to that, and then that, to this. And then you could see, let's come up to maybe if, yeah, there you go. And you can see the clear reaccumulation, right? Oh, sorry, you could see the accumulation, and then you could see the break making this whole thing, the redistribution inside that distro, inside that distro. So this was what I saw. And again, did they give a 10-1? I mean, we can all say it did. There's your 10-1 in a space of, well, 1 minute. And then it went down to 18 at least. And we would have at least looked to target a new low, which would be down here. And then at least down here. I don't think we've got it that yet. Oh no, we do. to the maximum it went was a 1 to 60. 1 to 60 at least on a Friday, Monday. Yeah, 2 days. 2 days, but it's really so. This is something that we was looking at, but I didn't put this on. Anybody was on that, this was your 10 to 1, but this wasn't from this week, this was from 2 weeks ago. And again, we was looking at this when we was looking at NU, NChef, and NCAD as well. But I mean, you can see, look, this just made sense. We could see price was inside our slingshot. We could see the distribution, could see the break, we could see the attempt to accumulate, and then the distribution in here, making this whole thing the redistro in here. But
What
whether
was your
yeah, go on, bro.
what is your next play gonna be like? Break where for this to break and then measure this move out?
Yeah, that's what I would require for me to now play this. So how
Alright.
I would play this moving forward, bro, would be the same thing how I did here. I'm not going to try to catch anything in here simply because there's no point. I like to do you know what, this is crazy because I was just me and Dio was just reading this, right? And this bit resonate with both of us really differently. He said with 20% of his trades driving 80% of his profits. So 20% of his trades is giving him 80% of his profits. So what that tells you is essentially you don't need to trade a lot. You just need to let your runners run. And this is something that Mike teaches time and time again. But it's up to you to implement it. So this is something for me. I'm not going to spend every single day trying to work myself into something only for it to get clapped in like in a week or 3 weeks time. And the only thing I managed to secure was like a 10 to 1, a 20 to 1. But if I could work myself into a trade at a good point of interest, at like an extreme or slingshot that I know has got potential to go, like for example like this, and then even for me now, I'm not going to try to catch or work anything into here. Same thing, wait for the break, wait for some sort of accumulation to get me back up into here. This will be my SC and this will be my MC. But given that this is well mitigated, I would likely to play this because this is NFP. There's Thursday price action in here. There's 2 New York sessions, so this is something that I could play given that we come back. So all I have to do is be patient. What?
Alright, quick question though.
Yeah, go on.
So this is still your leg, correct?
At the moment, yes. When this
Yeah,
breaks,
and once it breaks, so this would be your SC and this right here will be your MC. So you could wait for the market and give you distro, then break,
no,
or would you look
no. The moment this goes for me, then I'm less likely to play that, bro. And the reason being is because what's the purpose of this? They have come back and mitigated this. So why is there another reason for them to come back into here? This is why I like to play mitigation, because I know this is it. I know there's a reason for them to come back, and then I know that is it. They don't need to come back anymore. If they do come back, I was wrong. I was mistaken. I now need to change my strategy. I now need to change my thinking.
Okay, makes sense. I
Yeah,
got you.
like I can't say the same thing here because now I'm guessing price can come back here, 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 and I'm right. I'm right in all of them, But then if I can minimize that, i.e., I can minimize my losses because all of this is a 50-50, right? Price could come, price could not come, price could come, price could not come, but that's a 50-50. But if I could minimize all of that and then I know for sure, or I know there's a 60, at least a 60-40 here, then I'm going to take that chance rather than a 50-50. Or if there's a 70 and 30, I'll rather take that chance rather than a 50-50 kind of thing. So, and then it's essentially it's the same thing here. So now following my market cycle, what do we know? We know we have got a distribution. We know we have got an attempt to accumulate. We know we can see the distribution going into redistribution. What we need is that break now, and then it's game on. And then are we not with structure? We are with structure. So that's it. And then the moment this breaks, right? The moment this breaks, or let's just say if we make this low and then that break, then I'm looking for here as a hedge. That's my first hedge. And if that breaks, I'm coming down here to look for a second hedge.
I see. Yep. I
So
agree.
and I need a cause and effect behind it, bro. I'm not gonna just take a trade. Just for the sake of making a new low or new high. I need a cause and effect. Now it's different when it's inside your point of interest, because that's what you're meant to shoot, not when it's in the middle of nowhere. So that's that. Uh, where is this here? What was the purpose of this? Yeah, I don't know why NChef is here. I think, yeah, no, sorry, we looked at that last week. Yeah, NChef this week's gone NFP. I don't think it gave us anything. There was this, I can see redistro, but this is not something I would trade, to be fair. And I know me and Thomas was looking for some sort of hedge opportunity here, because when we look at order flow coming into it, this is what was maintaining order flow. Just in case that price did go and turn around, we would be protected from that buy here going into our mitigation candle. But didn't do so. It broke after mitigating that 50 here, and then now new low. Then it's game on. So yeah, this is not on the list. Okay. This is oat, right? So oat is one of the commodities I look at, and let's do a top down on this. Okay, so high time frame, there's no doubt we are what? Bullish. High time frame is not on my what's it called? So this is the latest break that we've got. Oh, sorry, press wrong button. There you go. Bullish. So this is what's maintaining my higher time frame. And then this is that slingshot. Where's my pencil? This is that slingshot that causes it. So this is essentially my intraday, but we can see my intraday breaks here. This becomes my intraday. So just to summarize, we have got a bearish break. It's not a structure break, it's a just bearish break, which makes this then my intraday. Okay. And then this was my high time frame. And then so lower time frame structure is order flow on higher time frame. Okay, no worries, man. Catch you in a bit. And then yeah, we can see, look how price is just walking itself down. So for me, this is my structure leg, lower time frame here. And let's play that. So now we know that we're bearish times 2, so sales are on board, and then we'll be looking for a hedge. As the hedge would be the buy. And where would that be? That would be here, if price does come back into it. Okay, but now we gotta keep playing the sells until we can't. Let's look at our point of interest first of all. So now that we've got our leg, let's look at our point of interest. So see if you can break this down further. Okay. Maybe 1 hour. Okay. So at this precise point, this was a previous low. This is our now a new low. So we've got that. And then let's look at what's happened in here. 45 minutes maybe. Okay. So first of all, let's look at our leg. We've got this high and we've got this high. So we know this is from here to here, right? And then we know we get the break. That's okay. Now let's look at what happened inside here. There's that nice distro. And the way that I would have personally looked at it would be something like that to that. And again, let me know if you're seeing it differently, Adam. But this was my bias. Climax. Cool. Okay. So that's how I would personally see it like that, and then we get a break. Okay. And in terms of, so inside the distribution, what break would you have needed? And then for me, it would be from that to that. So I would need this to break, and then this is for me to play in that test to go down. Of course, we can see now we haven't got it, so we also needed that to break, and then we've got that. So couple of things we can do. Just measure the whole thing from that to that. There's where our age here is. If we can find confluence with that, with our 50%, that would be great. So in terms of our order flow, we've got this high to this high. So this is what we need to measure from that to that. And we can see it's bang in between that 50 and 80. So we could do a couple of things. So we could offset it in a way where we do this, right? So we do short, we do 50, just above that 80, and then we do that 80 right here to where the stop loss is with some spread. And again, if you wanna, you could do it from that 80, or you could do it from that 80, or you could cover yourself some more in here. Now it all depends on to how you want to do it. I personally, if it was me real time, I would have done from that to that, from that, just to cover a little bit of that, and then where that stop loss is to have my entries, then, because then that would cover up for spreads as well. And then again, we're looking for new low. Okay, so both them, worst case scenario would be this still gives me a 10 to 1, and this obviously gives me a 23 to 1. So that's what I'll be seeing it as. And does this yeah, so is this a valid idea? Let's look at it. So far, what do we have? We have intraday bearish, lower time frame bearish, and we have got a bullish. We got that, we got this, and then we've got on that. There you go. Now I don't know what would this be in terms of pips or points, because I don't trade this. I don't trade futures, but as I said, this is for backtesting only. Now all we have to do is just wait. This is a point of interest that I'll be looking at as my slingshot. So this is where I would have my alert to say look for sales if price comes into here. Well, let's speed it up. Okay, so price comes into it, and pretty sure it comes into a nice spot. So price comes into the 50 at least, and just shy off from the 80. What do we get? Do we get something inside? Okay, so looking at this, we need.
GK, what about your risk? How much you are giving to these limits?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is pro trend trade. So yeah, okay. Let's talk about risk, right? So how if this was like a normal pair, how I would do it is limit would be 0.25. Distro would be 0.25 inside my MC. So my MC, my total MC risk is 0.50. My total slingshot is 0.25, and that then gets split into how I do it. And even that gets split into a different way. So my limit, as I said, is 0.25. I have a 0.10 here, a 0. Sorry, I have a 0.5 here, a 0.15 here, and a 0.5 here. So what that means is, if the best case scenario for me is I don't get anything here, my limit gets activated, but then I can work my way into a distro in here with an extra 0.15. So my total risk is 0.25. My total risk is 0.25 plus 0.15, which is 0.40 on here. And then whatever reduced risk I get in here, I then throw it into this redistribution, as well as this entry that I didn't get a chance to get into, for example, or if it
Yeah.
didn't present anything itself, then I could work my way into that. And then that's just the best case scenario for me, because then I don't have anything to lose. I would be in break even here, reduce risk in here, and then I'll throw myself a little bit into here to throw some to get some more risk. But then that's just it. Yeah, so that's what it would be. Let's actually do something. So if this was a 100K account, yeah, I would throw 0.125 on here, and then 0.125 on here. And that would make up my 0.25. And then and this is slingshot, so this will be a different risk. But let's see if it presents it as something in here, and we can discuss it, how it does it. So at the moment I will need that to break for me to look at anything, and then we can see it's actually, it's actually giving us a little something. And at the moment we get that break, this is something that we can throw a little bit of risk on. So this is what I need to break for me to say, yeah, let's go. No break, no trade. So okay, so we can say at the moment we didn't get that trade, it's going in now. So and at the same time SC has now been violated, so I'm not going to be looking for anything from that SC. I would be waiting for this and then for that. And then any break inside there, I would be taking some sort of reduced risk, another entry. Okay, so the 50 gets activated, and let's see what we can find in here. And then in terms to trade manage this, so let's look at. In terms to trade manage this, I need this break to get. Just lock this. Okay, so I would wait for something like that, because that's the high. So once we get this break, I'll go to reduce risk. Once we make a new low, I'll go to break even, and then a new low, I'll pay risk. But let's see. That's my plan. Let's see what it does. Okay, so at the moment we're playing in between that. Let's look at that. Well, Tuesday, nothing, not really to do anything in, because I don't want to interfere with it. Okay, I've already agreed with my stop loss here. I'm okay with the amount. I'm okay with the percentage, and the dollar amount. So it's fine. I just need to wait to see what it's doing. Does it have reason to come into here? Well, yes, because the 80 is still valid. So let's see. The 80 is still valid. and then this is the line in the sand. So I'm not going to try, if I get stopped out, that's fine. I'm not going to try to throw more risk in there. Reason being is because if I get clapped on my 50 and then my 80 gets activated and then I've used all my risk in here, I can't then work myself into another risk, into another trade that would actually give me the potential, just only because I couldn't be patient. So wait for it to do what it needs to do, and then we'll resume. Okay, so at the moment stop loss got hit, and then he done it in such a beautiful way as well. Because let's look at this. Now, does my 80 get activated? Yes, right. So you can, and then my 8. Hold on, let's see what. Oh, it's not going back now. Okay, let's just say it was 380. Yeah, that's 388, 398. Okay, oh, and then even this is looking, so actually let's so this is 12 point, so we're down. So total risk is 2, total trades is 2, total risk so far is 0.25%. Total, or no, we don't have any total risk. Total stop loss we have got is that. Okay, and then we do have one reduced risk because this trade has now activated, and then we would have needed at least that or that to break, which it did, and then we've now got reduced risk. So we reduce risk on this one. We'll reduce risk on that one. Hold on, let me just bottom, there you go. Okay, we'll reduce risk on that one, and then now we can actually throw the rest of this. So we can do that to that, and then throw a risk here. So at this point, when I'm inside this lower time frame point of interest, I just like to go off the 50 and not the 80, simply because if we look at the volume coming into this, price has already shown its hand. So I don't expect price to always comes into the 80. I can sometimes not even the 50. All it needs to do is at least come back to some sort of position. So if I can place myself in it, and I can go down. So let's look at, so out of the 50, we have played 0.25. So now we have got another 0.25 to play with. So I would throw 0.10, leaving me 0.5 to work another re-entry in. Yeah. So okay, let's see. Okay, son of a gun. Price makes that low. That's not for me. I'm gonna delete that now. Actually, just do that. So new low, limit, delete. Okay. Are you with me so far? Is this how you would also play this?
Yeah.
Um,
So far, I'm.
you're with me, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now what's my play is to now let's come back up and let's see where we are. So we have tapped into this. We have played into the 80 of the lower time frame slingshot. Let's look at, I can delete that. Okay, now let's look at in terms of our order flow, we still being maintained by this order flow, right? So we could actually play a hedge in here, and then we could look for something in here as well, because this is that we can see this a reaccumulation. Although this is very low interest for me, this is what's holding that entire leg. So this is more of an interest for me than this. So if there's no clean price action in here, then I'm not looking to do anything. If there is a redistro opportunity, then I could maybe throw a little something. Now at the moment, so that's my plan of attack. But let's look at what we have to do with this trade in terms of trade managing it. So at the moment, I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Ideally, I would like that to break, and then even that to break, if it can, and then maybe come back up. If it doesn't come back up, I would like some sort of shakeout, but maintaining this. So take all of these sellers out, shake out, ideally maybe 50% up to that, where I could maybe work a micro distro to go down with it. At the moment, there's no limit or nothing. I might throw a little something once this break, because then this distribution has got an effect behind it, or where we could get something like that. But this would be reduced risk of what I've reduced here, and no more of any risk. At the same time, this would also be my partial taking area. Okay, so let's look at this. So we've got reduced risk. We have got break even here. Break even on this trade. So now where am I standing? So we got two trades. Total risk is 0.25. Reduced risk none. Total profit not. We haven't taken anything yet. We've got one break even. So then that means my risk has now, so out of 50, and this was 0.25. So we have got plus 25%. Okay. And then I'll just have to wait and see what it does. So nothing at the moment, just doing its thing. Again, we just like to see that some sort of shakeout, then we can play, or some sort of break, and then we can come back, either or. Okay, let's see where we are sitting at, and well, it has given us an opportunity to pay ourselves anyway, because we have got, no, it didn't, but when this goes, that's how I would pay myself the risk, and that would be at well, a 3.5 to 1, somewhere down there at 3 to 1. Reduce risk. Yeah, or no, sorry. And then we're targeting this low here. So that's pretty much, that was the entry that we would have saw last week. And again, if you will look at the session time, this is New York. This is 2:30, so equities open. And it's the same thing that we like to look at. It's the structure, it's the distro, it's the 80s. Doesn't matter the market that we're in. It's the now, although I can't be a hypocrite and say I trade this. I don't. But even I like to explore, and then I like to look at what sort of how does the market behave with our methodology, with our strategy. And so far I don't think it has proven me otherwise. um and yeah, I think that's all I had to go over. There is XPT, but just because of the time purposes, you guys can have a look. Me and Diod was looking at it live, and it was pretty much inside here. It was disaccumulation, there's the break, it was disaccumulation, and there was the trade. I think at least it gave us a 1 to 50, I want to say, at least a minimum. I didn't check, I didn't follow up. Before then, it turned around, and then NFP obviously happened. NFP obviously happened. There was XPD, so there was Palladium that I was looking at, and that did come into that 80. So pretty much the same thing as the other metals. What do we have? We've got a new leg, this is what's holding that leg. Somewhere there was a slingshot, but we've traded through it. And then what do we have? We've got a distro, a redistro coming into our mitigation candle. And what was my point of interest? This. So essentially just done, so this, let's look at this, right? This was New York. There's the store of New York, there's 50 and there's 80. And this is what's also holding structure. The only thing I don't like about this is that this is a Wednesday. If this was a Thursday, this would have been beautiful. But then look at where price comes into. Okay, here, but not only that, look at this accumulation price comes into.
Yeah.
And this is beautiful. In my box, there you go. Oops. There you go. And we can just label this and then we can call it a day, but there's our trading range. Sellers climax. Section 2. Spring, and then we get the break here. So this is where the break, this is where we needed to break. And then so far we get a jump across the creek. Ideally we'll just be looking for some sort of test somewhere around here between that 50 to 80. Either two things really. So and how I'm playing this for next week is where's my this, okay? So either price comes here and we accumulate and then we go up, and then what we get is we get our test and we get our sign of strength, or we got accumulation part, we then distribute, and then we've got a redistro. And then that could be this. So then that'll be the accumulation. We get the break, and ideally I would have liked well then this would be the U chart. This whole thing would be the U chart. I don't like how this price action is afterwards.
Yeah, there is no volume.
Yeah, exactly that. Normally when you see a U chart, it's just a quick sharp and then break there. So but then the only reason I'm thinking of the second option is because when we look at all the metals, when we look at gold, when we look at silver, and even platinum, they've all made a low, and they've all traded below this low. The only one that hasn't is palladium. So I'm wondering whether this is the laggard. If this is the laggard, then maybe we could get something inside that test, where I could actually just look to set an alert.
Do you trade commodities a lot?
Just the metals. Look for buys. Just for the metals, and then I use the rest for backtesting purposes. So I haven't traded oil in a minute. I look at all the rest, like the other commodities as backtesting purposes, like copper, oats, like also the one that we've done, sugar, coffee, soybeans, and stuff like that. Same thing with when you look at my forex. I've got the normal pairs that we look at, but then nothing stops me from looking at the exotics as backtesting purposes. You know, like there was one. Hold on. Was it this one? Here, check this one out. It's like snakes.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I mean it's just you just need to have a look at it. But yeah, because if you look at, for example, if you look at what AU done, right? Let's look at what AU done this week. If we were to just follow the price action in terms of like making this low to that to that to that to that and then drop, and then let's look at, I'm not even going to clear my drawing, but let's look at, get my mouse, AUD Hong Kong, right? It's done very similar thing, something like that, I guess, or like that at least. Or if you were to look at, I think this is much more cleaner. It's like the same. This one
Mhm.
is actually more closer. Yeah, this one's actually more cleaner. But then AU might not have provided a distribution in here or here, but AUD Singapore dollar might have. And then you obviously you would have missed it if you didn't see. Just out of curiosity, let's see if it did. It didn't, but this was a good trade. This was a Thursday price action, New York.
How do you always find something for the backtest when you have this so much pairs to
Bro,
watch?
there's always, I don't think he was here. Ever since I've started following Mike, so maybe like 2 years ago, and I told him this, and he said yes. And it only gets better and better. So when I told him at that time, I said, bro, I'm becoming a firm believer that the market would at least provide a 10 to 1. At that time, he told me the market would provide a 100 to 1. And that was because like he was trained, if that makes sense. Whereas I was just starting. So when I first started, bro, like I was only able to watch or catch 10 to 1. Like the fact that now I'm able to see 1 to 50 or 1 to 60 has taken time. Do you get what I'm saying? So the market would always provide it to you, man. Always, 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 always. And you believe that because then you would see it. Like believe the market can give you no matter what the market. And we've seen, I think every single time I've backtested, I've always had like a forex, a commodity, at least a stock. Um, oh, there you go, backtesting session. I've always had, so I don't know, let's look at one. This was, yeah, there you go. So I've had two forex pairs. I had one commodity, and then I had two stocks. Uh, this is one before. This one doesn't say, but I don't know. I can't. Let's just look at. So this is UCAD. This is XRP. So this is crypto. This is another forex. This is forex. This is a stock. Oh, I remember this. This is crazy. Spring, break, come back into that 50. Another stock there. Oh, look, this one's gold, German 30, UK 100, and USD chef. BTC.
And when you are like backtesting, you already know what give the entry, or are you trying to find and then backtest?
No, so I look at it before I come on, bro. I look at it on my own time. So I look at it on my own time, and I'll look at how I do. So like whenever like I do a lot of calls with myself. I don't need nobody on the call to for me to do calls. Does that make sense? I'll come on and I'll talk to myself, and I'll be like, okay, well, what's happening here? Would this be something that I would look at in real time? And then if it's good price action, then I just send it to here, backtest. And then that's when I'm like, okay, cool, we can do a backtesting call. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm like you know, I would look at it, or like for example, it could be Monday and Tuesday. For example, this I mean I know we haven't gone for it today, but like this has happened Monday or Tuesday, whenever it was, when I was having a chat with DR, and then we looked at it, and then I'll just throw it here. So then I then maybe take proper screenshots or follow up with it in a couple of days time, and then just print it out or put it in my portfolio, save it for I can have a future reference, you know, something. So yeah, um, but yeah, man, I think that's about it.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Cool. And then yeah, I mean, I think we this is what Akash was looking at for next week. Some similar play. Uh, CAD Chef is very similar to what I'm looking at for this week. Has got a couple of hedges on here as well, which is good. It's just, yeah, this is the one. So CAD Chef. Yeah, so this is pretty much the same thing that I'm looking at. Although I am also looking for higher prices. So I am also looking for what's my pen? Yeah, I am also looking for higher prices up in here, simply because we all know this is just order flow, right?
Yeah.
Because this is the break, this is what's still maintaining that leg. This was just some sort of redistribution that caused it. So we could come up and then we could also be distributing something. So we could get a third drive and then a distro and then come back down. You know, Catch Chef can do that. I won't be surprised. Um,
I was
so
personally watching today the KCF for the distribution because if you go back like on the 15 minute,
yep,
how can I annotate? Yeah.
this one here.
Yeah, I saw it like it gave the major sign of weakness here, and we came back to the 80. Yep.
Yeah,
And we have the beautiful distro here.
yeah.
And if you go on the lower time frame for the distro,
I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. So
yeah. So this was the changeover,
yeah, yeah.
but it is still type 1 for me with the Asian shakeout.
Tomorrow,
We had
if tomorrow we get some sort of micro in here that takes this Asian high, that'd be beautiful
yeah.
for me personally. This is again, this is on my primary list, just as I guess everybody. But no, I mean today I didn't even look at the chart, bro. Today is Monday. It's a Sunday for me. So yeah, when I've got my alert, tells me what to do. Look for sell invalid, look for buys from mitigation MC. So that's it.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say? Invalid, look for buys from. Oh, okay, yeah. So from here, right, cool. Because let's not also forget, I think this came into something. Yeah, so this came into. If you were to just do from that whole big drop, from that to that, we come into that 80, bang on. Okay. So I'll be hedging something because then this would be, if this break, something like that. If this break, this would be my spring that I could play out. So this would be my MC and this would be my slingshot, just to get into a hedge to make my way up into here. Because this is order flow for me.
Yes.
So this is order flow for me. This is what's holding my lower time frame slingshot, and this is what's holding my lower time frame um extreme. But if I can get into a buy for 500 pips minimum, because slingshots can get broken in an extreme for like 800 pips, why the hell not? Why the hell not? So let's see. Um, Kaje was different because Kaje now broke everything, just flipped to the upside. Uh, we was looking for something in here, but nothing. So just being patient with it. Um, I think that's it. You chef. I had I was looking for something in in there. Whoops. Here. We didn't get it. I liked this. I was actually watching this when my alert went off. I'm not sure if you was watching it too. Was you watching it?
No, personally, I wasn't watching Yusuf for the shorts. I was
Okay.
just waiting for the buys.
Okay. No, I was waiting for sales. I had this. So this is where my alert went off for that 50% here. Somewhere in there because I had it just below, and then we had this. I had an alert here. Obviously, it didn't happen, and then we had this, and then this. It was still on the table if we came back into like that imbalance with a clear distribution to go down. But as we can see, it just kind of failed. Let's go down. Yeah, it just kind of failed and didn't. It came back, but it came back super quick. The alert, both the alert to look for a sell, was both the alert to look for a sell and stop loss, not stop loss, sell invalid when ahead. So there was
Yeah.
no game for me. But this would have been a clean NFP trade. Like if it uh if it done that, that would be super clean. So yep. And I think on a normal day, if it was like a Thursday, a bit of a more risk on day for me, and if it was this price action with no news afterwards, I think this would have deserved a limit because when we look at where we are, we made that low. This was holding that low. This was the cause of that low in the form of registrar. And then we come back into that 50, and then we've got this Asian price action manipulated during the open, and then we get that break. I mean, absolutely, I'm going to be throwing something in there, even if it's 0.05%.
Yeah, I agree because it was kind of undecided still what to do with the USD pairs. But
Yeah,
yeah, if you are like trading the both ways, you definitely have to put limit on.
yeah. So I had my little hair went off as well. I think it did. Let me just double check. Yeah, so this is gone now. So we currently got bullish order flow. But again, this is nothing because we could get all of these sellers. He's got this trend line clapped up, and then we could distribute to come down, of some sort. But I'm waiting on two areas, and that's what I'm going to be waiting on. I've got this buy opportunity here, this hedge opportunity here, and then I've got this sell opportunity here, and I think that's it. Um, and then the only thing is I would then play the continuation once we make, for example, this, and we come up, and then we make this high, because then we've got some sort of accumulation going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I'll be playing. So yeah, it's just waiting game. But then again, it's January. We're just gone into February, so yeah, not in a rush at all. And let's see how it goes. Cool. All right then. Well, I know it's very late for you there, so I'll catch you later. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Let's actually look at. Let's see what this. Oh, I keep typing on the wrong keyboard. Oh, today nothing much. Tomorrow morning we might have a little something.
Yeah, tonight we have the Australian pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is looking more of a decent day. Let's see. This will be interesting to see what happens. 6 p.m. Yep. So a lot of these news are happening in the evening for some reason. Yeah. So Friday is the one I'll be seeing if we can position something tomorrow onwards and then at least break even or profit taking just before the news comes out. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But all right, man. I'll catch you on the chats and I'll see you on the other sessions, bro.
Yeah, all right. Thank you for your time.
No worries, man. I'll see you soon. Bye.
See you.